hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Cold Beers and Curveballs. I am Chase Almy.
The most exciting edition, right?
This is pretty much the most exciting.
Have yourself a Merry Christmas exciting edition number 25,000.
25,000 episodes.
Cold Beers and Curveballs.
We have been doing this every day since we were 14 years old.
Approximately.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Corey.
Yeah, that's Corey with the random sabermetric, not an actual stat about us. I believe we're probably episode, 30 something?
We're on about word 25,000.
Right.
I think that's what I'm doing. It's word count now.
Right. I think 25,000th word was right there. But no, we have finished up winter meetings. Got the two biggest names off the old block.
Why did the winter meetings go on when it wasn't even winter officially?
Right, because today is the first day of winter.
Today is.
So it's the
You know
shortest
how good
day.
it feels outside?
It feels
It's a
like
sunny 75
Right?
degrees.
No, I saw a bunch of people walking around with their shorts on and stuff.
Chase, why'd you turn me down so low?
I haven't turned anybody down. Corey just can't hear. So Corey,
Corey's getting real old. His
Right.
hearing's suffering.
yeah, Corey actually got us a sponsorship through Hearing Diagnostics, and they're going to give him a free hearing check as long as we talk about them.
We could be on those late night commercials for hearing aids.
Dude, have you ever noticed that it seems like the only people that watch late night television is either going to call one of those old school phone sex hotlines, or they have like some type of debilitating disease, or they're addicted to something, because that's the only commercials I see.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like Life Alert, like some type of like herpes
the
outbreak deal.
insomniacs of
Yeah.
the who were born in the 50s.
And some girl that's like, local singles are waiting for you to call. And remember,
Look, it's a highly
girls are
specific
always free.
demographic that watches TV after cable TV, traditional TV after
Right.
2 a.m., you know? So
I get, dude, like we need to
they've
get,
got those real targeted to
we
their...
need to get the Girls Gone Wild guy out of jail so we can get back to those commercials.
I think we need to get focused on baseball.
Oh yes, we're baseball. Yeah, baseball. So no, the winter meetings is over. A lot of cool things, a lot of weird things happen. So Ohtani, as we talked about last episode, went to the Angels. The Angels signing up a few other people too. So it looks like they're making a run for that AL West. They're still probably going to finish up behind the Astros, unless
The Angels are going to be the Angels. Yeah, they're going to be real disappointing. Remember how they had Pujols and that was going to turn their season around? Remember
yeah,
how
but they had
signed
Pujols when he was what, 84?
Remember how they signed Josh Hamilton and that was going to turn their year around? Remember how they signed CJ Wilson and that was going to be a spectacular deal?
I think it's just one of those things where, like, you have to look at what you're signing. You had a guy who was more interested in his race car in C.J. Wilson. He was all about that race car. Then you have Josh Hamilton, who's 3/5 a fucking retard. Who, you know, Josh Hamilton's little run in the sun was just, that was it. Then you had Albert Pujols, who you knew was going to sign an AL deal so he could be a DH because everybody knew he was on the decline.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, the Angels, who'd they get? Zach Cozart, $13 million a year.
They got Ian Kinsler,
Ian Kinsler.
which
So,
that's
yeah,
kind
we're just
of
going to get ourselves some more old players.
that's
and,
kind of the middle infielder Albert Pujols signing. But Ian Kinsler's been good. I mean, he's been steady.
Yeah, well, they probably get Kinsler for how many years? I don't know. Probably one good year, and the rest is going to be garbage. So
Yeah, I mean, he'll be back here in Dallas selling those baseball bats.
that he will.
Not that that's a knock. Warstick is a really fucking cool company.
Nah, Angels just doing Angels thing. They're spending some money, but, you know, it won't pay off.
No.
They'll be third.
Tell you who's not spending money right now.
Who would that be?
That's down there in South Florida. That's Miami Marlins.
Miami Marlins and the Rays. Both
Yeah,
dumping
Rays.
salary.
Yeah, both of them. They opened up the windows and they did a little spring cleaning in December.
Pushed everybody out. Yeah, why don't we go...
But that's good, though, because Evan Longoria finally gets a chance. Not really.
Oh, where'd he go?
He went to San Francisco, which
Yeah.
is not really a chance.
This is a problem, though, is that he is really good against the Yankees, and now he won't get to play against the Yankees, so his numbers are going to suffer.
I don't know. Maybe he can be really good against the Dodgers, which is kind of like the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yankees.
Well, I think what's funny is that the Giants are acting like if they get a few key pieces, they're going to be contenders.
Well, it is going to
They
be
were
2000.
one of
It's going to be
the
2018. It's going to be 2018.
teams.
Statistically, they are better in even years.
Yeah, that's cool. But statistically, over the last 10,
And statistically,
they haven't had
it's
one
going
as
to be
bad as last year.
2018.
Yeah, for them to be third in their division. Remember who's in their division? All three playoff teams.
Right. Yes. That was basically that whole 162 games was a playoff for the NL West.
So even if one of those three teams reverts, which the Dodgers are a very young team, all Colorado, Arizona, and Dodgers all look promising. They don't look like flashes in the pan. So Giants are basically rolling the dice to see if one of them reverts and they can get third place. They're not going to win the division. So,
well, and I think one thing too that you're going to have to think about within the realm of things is teams like the Dodgers, teams like the Astros. A lot of times, those teams coming back the next season, they struggle a little bit, which we talked about early on. With
they
the
played a
Cubs.
lot of extra games.
Right.
I get it.
Did you
And
see
then
what Stanton, Did you see what Stanton said about that though? You want to talk about that here in a little bit?
No, what was that specifically?
Stanton made a thing that he said when they were talking to him about getting signed. He said, "Hey, I want to be playing ball in October. I don't want to be taking a vacation in October."
Right.
So that was kind of his thing on signing with the Cardinals or the Giants. But we'll talk about
Throwing
that here
shade. Well, he doesn't understand yet what it means to play baseball in October.
Right.
So he doesn't understand the wear and tear on your body to have instead of 162 games, another 180.
Right. Yeah. Because you got 5 games for the DS and then 7 games for the.
And look, we're already on the less than 100 days to spring training. We're on day 97 or 98.
Yeah, 98 days to pitchers and catchers report. Which apparently February 14th is also another holiday.
Valentino Day.
Yeah, and I found that out last year when I had to sleep on the couch.
I thought that was February 17th or something.
No, it's February 14th is when it all happens on the same day. So,
Let's
yes.
look around before we get into the Marlins because that's the biggest thing to talk about. The rest of these little free agent signings, the Indians, some of their fans have been worried about. Yeah, that was the guy I missed. Who's their first baseman who just got traded?
oh
away?
Yeah, the guy that plays guitar, Carlos Santana. He went to the Phillies. He didn't get traded. He was a free agent.
Yeah. So, Indians fans were concerned that they weren't really reloading in a way to make themselves another World Series contender.
Right.
They did help themselves by getting Yonder Alonso, who is a very good hitter. I mean, even on the A's, he was one of their only good players. He's a good, solid bat. He can fill some of that production that they just lost. Zach Britton for the Orioles. Sorry, go on.
No, the back to the Cleveland deal. A lot of Cleveland fans were kind of up in the air about it. Carlos Santana's production to payout ratio wasn't going to be worth it. And his asking price was about $3 to $4 million more than what I've heard through Cleveland people. What they were comfortable paying him. So I think it worked out for everybody. I think, honestly, though, that signing may kind of jumpstart things with the Phillies. Phillies got a lot of money.
Could. Yeah.
They're in a rebuild. So it wouldn't be surprising if you may see Machado end up there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I understand Baltimore is damn near stupid.
It looks like Baltimore's trying to take him off the trading block. They don't think
they have till the end of the day. Tomorrow, they said.
Yeah.
That they're going to keep talks open till Thursday.
Well, if they're not getting interest, then they're going to keep him. I mean,
right.
It's one of those where we don't have to, but we're interested.
Right. And a lot of people thought, the Yankees were going to pick him up, but I don't think. I mean, Baltimore is pretty fucking stupid, but I don't think they're stupid enough to be like, hey, let's go ahead and give him to another AL East team.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that, you could see him going to a team like the Phillies that has the money to spend.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at, there was...
Because that Giancarlo Stanton signing for the Yankees pretty much says that Chris Bryant and Bryce Harper aren't going to the Yankees next year.
Yeah, that's a bit too much.
Right.
I mean, they could They could angle for one of them, but that's a hell of a lot of payroll right there. No, I was trying to find. There was one reaction from a prominent Indians fan about kind of being discouraged with who what their lineup's going to look like next year. But
I do know one thing I will say about the
they
Indians.
still got a good manager, and they still got good pitching. They still got good players.
Right. The only thing that question is there's some pitching questions up in the air. They moved one of their pitchers. I can't remember which one it was. They moved him to the bullpen last year because he was having control issues. And they just kind of like kept him up in the air. It was like, well, maybe today he might be a starter. Maybe today he might be in the bullpen, whatever it was. And it's kind of one of those things where, is Tito really going to take the reins? Because Tito is a player's manager. And the one thing about Tito is sometimes Tito sticks to his guns until it's too late. And that was very evident in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
He stuck to what, we're going to work the process. For people that watch the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys, very similar to that.
Trust the process.
To that process. Yeah,
clap,
trust the
clap,
process.
clap.
But I think it'll be interesting to see because he's got a few guys. Where are they going to go? It's kind of like we don't really have a spot for them, but they're actually really, really good. They don't want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So be interesting to see on that level. And if you're going to get your Chief Wahoo stuff, get it before January 1st, guys, because rumor has it they're no longer making it, and January 1st, they may be doing a buyback of all things Chief Wahoo.
They feel like it's offensive or something.
Yeah, they're starting
to
ease it out.
They're just going to be the Indians without the offensive picture or something. No, we got the last little thing was Marcell Ozuna from the Marlins as well. He was one of the second best hitter for the Marlins last year behind Giancarlo Stanton. So he's to the Cardinals. Cardinals had a kind of disappointing season last year, but they're gonna try and up their player quality and make you go for it next year. Evan Longoria to the Giants. So was that the original report? It seemed like wasn't he being talked about somewhere else first, and then
he was. I mean, the thing with the Rays is
he's been with the Rays for his entire career,
right? And you've got Archer with the Rays, and you've got can't remember the pitcher's name. He got Alex Cobb.
Yeah.
Those are pretty much the two guys that you have right now where the Rays are going to be in that rebuild situation where your Rangers could pick up one of those guys and make a run for it because it looks like they're going to need to because Martin Perez doesn't know how to stay out of the bullpen. It's like all Ranger fans have been talking about is put Perez in the bullpen. They put Perez in a bullpen and it's the wrong bullpen.
Yeah, well, Perez put himself in the pen with a bull.
Yeah,
that's
not the bullpen. He put himself in a pen with a bull.
Yeah, he pulled a Gene Fletcher. Let's be honest. That would be my grandpa's name, and Grandpa had cattle his entire life, his entire adult life, and he had a bad leg because of a bull, and literally once every year or every 2 years he got smashed up again. This is what ranchers and farmers do. They get sometimes they get a little shooken up because cows get angry or whatever. Dude, but why, if you're a major league that's loud, why, if you're a major league baseball player, are you working cattle and in the pen?
But listen to this though, this is a great idea, Corey. I think maybe we can sell this idea. What if So these bulls get mad, right?
Occasionally.
Bulls aren't really an animal to be ridden, but they like to get mad. So why don't we put people on the back of a bull and see how long they can last? And the winner gets a trophy or something.
Hey, that's a good idea, Chase. I wonder if anybody's ever thought of that before. we should call it bull riding or something.
Right?
Maybe call it professional bull riding. No, so I think all that means is that he's going to miss spring training and maybe a couple starts in April and May. cynical Rangers fans are like, hey, I mean, his first few starts of the year always sucked anyways, so I'm fine with him missing time. Rangers do have Mike Minor as a free agent acquisition and Matt Moore, who has been a historically good pitcher.
I don't know if what you would call historically good, though.
No. I mean, over his career.
His career is 51 and 48. He's got a 4.78 ERA.
Chase, why are you gonna be quoting wins and losses when we spend all the rest of the season talking about how wins and losses don't matter?
I'm going to quote wins and losses do matter because wins put you in the World Series and losses put you not in the World Series. That's fucking baseball.
What is Yu Darvish's career wins and losses, huh?
And what is Yu Darvish's career World Series? Because he had a chance to do it.
Yeah, I think
then he took the chance with the LA Times to say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I blew my chance."
0-2 probably. Career, dude. See, look at Darvish. Career 56 and 42. He's only got 10 more wins. Look, no, I mean he's been a career solid pitcher, but he had an absolutely terrible last year, 5+ ERA. So Rangers get him on the cheap. That's essentially all the Rangers can afford. Where is their money going? Like, people hit their money. They've got. Yu Darvish is not expensive anymore for them. They're paying Beltre a bit, but he's not super expensive.
But how long is Beltre going to sit around and wait?
Yeah, no, that's totally. I mean, that's exactly what JD has to get lucky with some of these low key acquisitions. These budget $5 to $10 million players. If he doesn't, if you have somebody like, say, Odor plays fine next year, he doesn't have a terrible year. Well, what if it's somebody else who regresses? What if it's Gallo who doesn't have power early in the season? What if it's Calhoun who absolutely, he's a young guy. It would be his first time in the bigs, really. What if he goes through a bad first year? If you have whatever can happen, there's so many moving parts. But pitching is a real shaky thing. Yeah, if the Rangers are not in contention at the end of May, then yeah, the talk will be very loud and very prominent about how Beltre might need to be traded because he wants to play for a contender.
Right, yeah.
It might be good for the health of the Rangers to have a bad year go pretty disappointing, to have a little bit of a trade veterans for prospects to reload the farm that's not truly one of the best anymore.
Right.
And go from there because they still have the young core who is going to be good the next year.
Odor and Gallo? That's not a core. That's two fucking players.
Calhoun and Mazzara and their
Calhoun
catcher. I can't remember his name.
Chirinos?
Right now. Yeah.
Dude, the thing is it's like you've got Beltre and Andrews. Andrews is getting older. I don't think he's going to have that great of a
Andrews is going to be just fine next year.
He's getting better offensively, but defensively his range is going down.
Happens to everyone except for Beltre, right?
Yeah. Beltre's got enough smarts about him and enough, Beltre is a lot like an aging quarterback. If you think about it, those quarterbacks
they stop trying to move around so much. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they have that one move that they can always revert back to kind of escape. Like if you ever look, like Aaron Rodgers, he has that one step up move that he has that he can get himself out of a pinch.
Yep.
And
I bet he could have avoided that bull.
I know. Beltre, on the other, Beltre has that one thing. Beltre's also what I've noticed in baseball when age is when you start to have hamstring issues and hamstring injuries, you might as well just plan on, your time is coming.
Yeah.
It's like Griffey had that in Cincinnati, and after that, he was never the same.
No, he keeps being this Hulk, this Iron Man. He plays through injury. He defies expectation. He keeps his numbers up, but yeah, eventually it's going to break.
So Yu Darvish,
last little thing with the Rangers. Yep.
Yes, Yu Darvish and JD last night.
They went out on a hot date.
Yeah, they had a little date.
Rumor has it he went to some sushi restaurant.
Do we not have a name on the sushi restaurant?
Nah, the
I like
guy
to think
didn't.
it was Sushi Shack in Plano.
Shut up.
That's
the
what
guy
I like to
didn't. No, there was just like a picture.
But it could have really have honestly been any Japanese guy and some white dude, and that's what most people think John Daniels and Yu Darvish are.
Shut up. I mean, it was a picture of you, Darvish. It wasn't.
Do you know how many Japanese guys have?
Hey,
Yu
wait,
Darvish haircut?
whoa.
What are we getting here?
7 minutes ago, Darvish to the Cubs.
I don't think that's accurate.
No, like literally, there's tweets everywhere.
Dude, nothing has popped up on my phone here.
Latest on you, Darvish.
Guys, bear with us as we're trying to look this.
Breaking. 22 minutes ago, source close to the negotiation tells me no deal has been agreed to between you, Darvish, and Cubs. Fake news. Complete nonsense. But look, Ken Rosenthal 2 days ago.
A lot of people are saying the Cubs is a good landing spot. A lot of
Cubs
people
and
are
Yu
saying
Darvish
the Twins is a good landing spot.
Astros, you, Darvish. 1 day ago. Okay. So, all right. So I was seeing some blow up, and then there's some other blow up that says report that Yu Darvish to the Cubs is completely false.
Right.
So
there's
man,
Corey. There's Corey jumping
just
on.
got.
Corey just being a fucking Democrat over
He
here.
just got.
Corey hashtag fake news.
Hashtag fake news.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So no, Yu Darvish sat down last night with John Daniels for dinner over. Guess they probably discussed things over a California roll.
I bet they could do better than California.
Yeah, I don't know
rolls.
about John Daniels though. John Daniels looks like a guy that probably still eats chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese every Thursday.
I still eat chicken nuggets.
And macaroni and cheese at the same time?
No.
You don't get the Blue Box Blues every once in a while with a little nugget?
Nope.
I'll tell you what, one of the best school lunches is Little Smokies and macaroni and cheese.
Probably.
But no, that was pretty much. The Rangers are in a weird thing. They also did sign Sean Tolleson and Paolo Espino to a minor league contract.
They did re-sign Hanser Alberto.
Right.
They weren't.
And also, the Nationals signed Mike Adams to a 1-year, $4 million deal.
Yeah. No. I'm thinking still on the whole Rangers thing. Somebody made a comment. Well, remember how? What's his stupid head? Who's their prospect who never had a place to play?
Jurickson Profar?
Profar, yeah. Sorry.
The guy that we should have got rid of?
Right, when he was at
who we
peak
got
value.
a really good shot at going to the Padres, but the Padres really don't have anything for us to give because they got rid of that black girl that can pitch. Oh, wait. That was not a real thing. That was a show. And it was horrible because Zach Morris was the catcher.
So Profar had kind of a falling out late last year because there was like a prime time for him to be called up when the rosters expanded and the Rangers didn't want him, and
right.
He's pouting over in AAA or whatever. Well, Hanser Alberto is also a utility infielder, so if that is Profar's role, and they've been wanting to ship out Profar, and then they re-sign Alberto, which they signed him to a minor league deal. They had him on a major league deal last year. They didn't do that for him. Anyway, it's just some talking about how Profar, it might just be another indication that he has no place, and the Rangers don't want him.
But the thing, too, is that you can also say is they don't really have anybody at first base right now. Napoli's a free agent. They haven't re-signed Napoli.
Moreland's still stuck in the Reds. The Red Sox.
Moreland got a 3-year deal with the Red Sox.
I mean, I would have taken Moreland back.
So it's kind of like, are they going to play Gallo at that corner? Are they going to play Profar? Profar's played at first a few times.
Yeah,
didn't look horribly awful.
Gallo at first is where he should be.
I mean,
that's his spot, dog.
I understand that, but Gallo did really well at third base too.
Is that his spot?
Who knows with Beltre?
Yeah, well, we're talking, everything gets reshuffled with injuries, but we're talking
Right. But who knows if
healthy
it's going to be an
roster.
injury thing. Beltray plays halfway through the year, and it's like, no, I want to go play for a contender because we're 12 games back.
Yeah, well, Gallup can do both.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Chu gone, too.
He's got a big contract. It'd be nice to trade that away.
Got to get that out of there.
But no, I think that's pretty much everything.
You're
for
not
the
even
Rangers.
talking about the biggest deal.
Right, that's what we're going
No, I'm talking about the biggest deal that was signed with the Rangers.
to. Who is
You
that?
get to wear that Austin Bibbins Dirk shirt again.
Oh, yes.
Because they signed him to a minor league contract with an invite to camp. So that $33 you thought you wasted at Globe Life Park, not a waste.
I didn't waste it. I would wear that for the rest of my life as long as I could fit in it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if I get fat, it's a medium. It would be real tight on me.
Yeah, that'd be good, though. A lot of people like that look.
No, Bibbins Dirk's jersey is never going to be retired. So hush your mouth. He can go play for whoever. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. He can go
Doesn't
back
matter.
to he can go back to indie ball.
His first game, he was throwing those breaking pitches and striking everybody out.
Oh yeah, because people are like, "Hey, look at this guy. He throws over." No, he doesn't. He goes down the sidearm.
They were like, I don't have a scouting report on him.
We
What?
don't know. Can anybody please call the Fort Worth Cats and see what the hell this guy's done?
Yeah, I mean, if his major league career fizzles out in a year or two, he can come on over to Royce City, eh?
Hey, I'm good with that. And Matt Kemp's also back with the Dodgers. Adrian Gonzalez got traded over in that with somebody else as well.
Yeah,
and
it was
then
a whole
the Braves,
salary thing.
Then the
but-
Braves
and then-
released
Yeah,
Adrian
Gonzalez released.
So who knows what's going to happen there?
All right, so the last little bit is that we wanted to talk about Giancarlo to the Yankees. So
I want to talk
the whole-
about this whole fucking thing in South Florida.
Right, so basically,
It's getting hotter and more humid down in Miami.
that's actually not possible.
Yeah. Did you watch the Dan LeBastard show?
I did listen to that clip.
Yeah.
So the basic storyline is that the Marlins had a payroll of about 111 million last year. They dumped their 30 mil a year basically.
Right around that.
Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees. Didn't really get a single prospect back because the whole point is that the Yankees are now assuming the entire contract. So that means the Marlins, and then they also shipped away Ozuna, second best hitter. They shipped away D. Gordon. So all these players that Marlins fans loved are gone. That's a complete fire sale. Their salary, their payroll is going to go down to around the 70-80 million mark, which puts them bottom five. They have that new stadium. Well, a lot of good that does when you have a new stadium, when you have absolutely nobody to fill it. The fans are upset. The players, it's going to be basically a AAA team until proven otherwise. And so
It's been a AAA team since about 2004.
yeah, but they don't have any pitching, but they did have an exciting offense, and so people would still come out and
Right.
watch that. You had a 60 home run hitter, right? Did he get 60? Or no, 55?
50-something, yeah.
So the whole, to be honest, I'm about like I'm 1 foot on the conspiracy train with the Jeter thing. This whole like long con that Jeter's playing, he gets in with his ownership group that buys the Marlins, and actually his biggest goal in life is to get the Yankees more World Series wins.
Look, here's the thing with this whole
He's
deal.
the CEO. Jeter doesn't actually have a giant ownership stake or a huge role in the company or with the organization, but I feel like
He's the operating officer for baseball
yeah,
operations.
but he's not the baseball operations chief.
He's
the
over
CEO. Nah, but I think his role is to be the figurehead and take the blame. Like the owner, he's not providing the money
kinda
for
like
the
a Nolan
payroll,
Ryan
and
thing?
he's not chief of baseball operations.
It's kind of like Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, figurehead.
All right.
No, but and so yeah, a lot of even fans that aren't Marlins fans are just upset about the idea, the premise of this entire just absolutely a new ownership comes, and in order to have ticket sales outpace payroll by an even larger margin, they just cut payroll left, right, and center, and it looks real
It
ugly.
wasn't
And-
just payroll. They cut coaching staff.
Oh yeah,
they cut,
right. They fired a
They
lot of
fired a bunch of people. They fired a
organization
guy
people.
while he was sitting in the hospital with cancer.
Yeah,
Here's the
There
here's
was a
the
lot
whole,
of bad things.
Here's the
Yeah,
whole
exactly.
thing. They bought that team for about what, $1.2 billion.
yeah.
The team's worth was at about $900 million. So they already had to overpay to get it.
Well,
And then they come in, they start cutting coaching staffs. Then they cut they cut the thing that's bringing
Biggest-
in people.
They cut staff and player payroll.
Right. Plus, they've got a person who's the figurehead in the front deal, not even going to the winter meetings. He's too busy at a fucking Dolphins game.
Yeah, exactly.
He trades off Giancarlo Stanton for absolutely nothing. He trades off D. Gordon for absolutely fucking nothing. He gives Ozuna away for absolutely nothing. They get Giancarlo Stanton and said, hey, you're either going to be a Giant or you're going to be a Cardinal. And he said, I ain't going to be either. And they said, fine, you're going to be a Marlins for the rest of your life. Then, oh no, here comes the Yankees going to throw, Jeter a favor. Jeter went from being the most loved baseball player this side of, Al Kaline, like the 60s and 70s players. I mean, in modern
That was
baseball
your first
era.
name to go to.
I love Al Kaline.
You might, but he's not one of the most recognizable names.
I know,
in all
but I mean,
baseball.
he's
Yeah, like Ken Griffey. He's
Right.
probably the most recognizable baseball name since Ken Griffey, to
Right.
be honest. Like,
so even if you
Roger
hated the Yankees,
Clemens, A-Rod.
even if you
But, yeah.
hated the fucking Yankees, you still respected and you liked Derek Jeter. And now Derek
That's to
Jeter
be
is
argued.
now the
There's lots of
most.
people who didn't like his sleeping around habits, his nightlife, his partying, it seemed like he was kind of sleazy, and then lots of people thought he was so overrated because his defense sucked, actually.
Right.
But he was still winning Gold Gloves.
But people will always view that. I think people
Yeah.
liked him more than they hated him, and now he is the most hated person
That's
in
for sure.
baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is the team that he had is where the Rangers want to be in 4 to 5 years. Where any team that's rebuilding right now, that's where they wanted to have. They wanted to have Stanton, Gordon, Ozuna, a few of the other guys. That's who they wanted to have, and all they were was a couple of pieces away from being an actual contender. Because the NL East fucking sucks.
Yeah. It could be argued that, cool, you have solid offense, but you have absolutely no pitching. It doesn't
Right.
mean that
and
you're
they
actually...
could have went and got pitching, but instead they're
Yeah.
not going. They're instead of trying to spend money to make money, they're cutting money to make absolutely no money.
Yeah. No, it's not a, hey, look, it's not like it would make people would understand if the Dodgers or the Rangers have a payroll of like 175. We're like number 7 in the league. If the Rangers had a really disappointing year last year, like even worse, they were still around, the 500 record. Well, if they have an even more disappointing year, people wouldn't be surprised if management basically sells off a lot of players that would get the most prospects in return and try to rebuild the whole thing. Well, the thing is, the Marlins didn't have they had a payroll far below that, and they had a lot of young players, and so that's the real disappointing thing. So Dan Lebitard recently, 2 days ago, gets on the radio with Commissioner Rob Manfred,
Yes.
MLB commissioner.
This actually happened yesterday.
He started it off real contentious. Like, I mean,
He started it off the way that Dan LeBastard starts anything off.
He started
I
off
don't listen to
basically
him that much.
Hi, and you suck. Hey, let's talk.
Yeah, he exploits a little old Mexican man that he calls his dad. I don't think that's fucking true. And then he tells me that if I don't agree with the Andrew Jones situation and I'm white, keyword and I'm white, I'm a racist. Dan Lebitard can fucking Paul Walker a goddamn car, and I'm not going to give two shits. And I'm hoping that Stephen A. Smith is his passenger at that point. I can't stand either one of those fucks. I don't know how those two cocksuckers have a job. Like ESPN, that needs to be your next fire. Hope and pray to God that they touch some girl's tit that we can get them off. Girls, if Dan Lebitard or Stephen A. Smith has touched you
Has ever
or talked to
texted
you, please get on Twitter.
Go on to the
Please.
Me Too, right?
And I'm not making light of that because I don't think sexual harassment and sexual misconduct is funny at all. But I'm really being honest. Like, if any of them have ever talked to you, it was sexual harassment, and you should call it.
Get them fired, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm probably going to have to call my sister and see if we can't get that on board.
So he goes, he interviews and he's trying to basically pin him as a liar. He's saying he was incompetent, that he didn't realize that part of the Marlins ownership proposal for that ownership team was a giant reduction in payroll. He felt like, that's disingenuous when, it seems like no other team, every other team is trying and you can have a new owner on and they're not even going to try to field a winning team.
Here's the thing.
It's messy.
Do I believe that Rob Manfred knew what was going to happen? Yes. Do I think that he knew it was going to happen to this extent? No. Because why? That would be like me going into a company who is doing everything great and they have all of these people in place and me taking the company over and saying, I'm going to fire every single one of you.
Yeah.
Like, why would I go in and hurt the business of baseball? Why would Rob Manfred go in and hurt the business of baseball?
Well,
on purpose. He's losing, basically. He's cutting Major League Baseball down to 29 teams. That's essentially what he's doing.
Sure, yeah. By allowing that ownership to do that.
Yeah.
So, it's not his fault technically because he's like, whoever has the money, they can buy the team, basically. But no, it is. But
you do have to introduce proposals, and you have to say, "Here's what I'm going to do to better the
right." You don't
team's name here.
You don't sell it to an ownership
baseball
group who is essentially saying, "Yeah, we're just going to slash payroll and be a low budget team." That does nothing for MLB. MLB as a whole, their health relies on teams, every single team trying.
Right.
Or if they're not, then that they properly present and it looks like if you're going to tank, that's fine, but you have to be rebuilding your farm system for the future.
Right.
So,
well, this is almost seems like the script of Major League. Except I don't know where the fuck the Marlins are wanting to move to. I know in the movie that's where the Indians wanted to move to was Miami. And the whole thing to do was to make sure attendance was so fucking low. And I guarantee you Derek Jeter is going to do that this year. There's not going they already don't have enough people in the stands there. There isn't going to be a fucking person in that stand.
It's a giant stadium with 12,000 people attending every game.
Right. Yeah, it's awful down there. And
that's because Miami's awful and nobody wants to sit in that humidity. It's worse.
Dude, they have a retractable roof. They have an air conditioning.
Okay, well that's because no one in Miami likes baseball. Maybe that's what it is.
Dude, and the thing that Manfred tried to argue at the first of it was, when Le Batard's getting his little jabs in before anybody can say anything, they probably got Manfred on mute at that point. But, the thing that Manfred's point was they've had 2 World Series. And yes, that is true. They have
in the last 14 years, yeah.
Yeah. That's more than the Rangers have. It's more than the Padres have. It's more than the Nationals have.
It's more than the Dodgers, more than the Astros.
Right. Well, yeah.
No, right. They had a good team in the late 90s and they had a good team a few years back, but it's like the in-between hasn't been competitive.
Right. No, and that's the thing is there hasn't been a big push for it, and they thought it was going to change when they built a new stadium and rolled out a new logo and did all this. There was a lot of hype with it, and the hype went away. They had Reyes. They had a few other guys that were, big time at the time, and it went to shit.
Yeah, that's what needs for a fan base to stay engaged. You can't to have peaks and valleys like that doesn't keep the fan base engaged. As in, it honestly it might be better for fandom and just general interest in your team to have a few middle ground years where you can There's more to debate when you have an 80-win team. You say, hey, are we close? Hey, do we need to blow it up? There's like the whole like back and forth, rather than to be dominant for 1 year, but when that was surrounded before and after by bad seasons, you didn't have any buzz to build to those good years. Like you had uninterest, and then all of a sudden they're good, and it's like, whoa, it's great, but then all of a sudden they suck again. You're like, what happened? Like, I wanted to get excited, but now I'm not. And so your interest dries away. And then if out of the blue again, they get good, well, there wasn't that buildup again. So it doesn't lead to long-term, like a growing number of fans.
Right.
When you just have 2 good years and nothing else.
And we know that from experience living here in Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, like, right, I would say that the fans here in Dallas have been left with a lot of, bad taste in your mouth over a couple World Series losses, but we've had playoffs a lot around before and after.
Right.
The interest
and that's the thing is people outside of Dallas and that follow baseball very closely in Dallas, though, they sit around and they know John Daniels is actually a really good GM.
Yeah.
But if you talk to the everyday Rangers
fans like him.
Yeah, if you talk to everyday Rangers fans who don't follow baseball, who know the wins and losses and this and that, all you ever hear is off with his head, pitchforks and torches headed to the Globe Life. And I think that's one thing that is going to be really interesting to see is the Rangers are put in a predicament now where they need to rebuild because what they have is getting old. They do have this core young group that's really good at solo home runs. But, I mean, other than that, there's nothing really there. They need to rebuild. They need to maybe tank and start building the farm system. But they have this new stadium.
Yeah, and they got to put butts in the seat.
Yep.
I mean, to me, that's a stupid view, too, because it's like the stadium's going to be here for 20, 30 years. Who cares? Okay, that's cool. It provides momentum. It makes your organization feel like you're really on the fast track to success. You got a good year. You got a new stadium. Hey, there's energy surrounding it. But no, stadium's going to be here. It doesn't matter if your bad year is next year, or if your bad year is 5 years from now, or if your bad year is 10 years from now. Like, you do what's best for the organizational health, not just what looks good because you have a new stadium. But man,
it's been very interesting.
Hot stove time is over. It's time for cold stove.
Well, it's not over. I think honestly now
right,
we're going
to Darvish hadn't been signed. There's plenty.
Darvish and Arrieta hasn't been signed. There's a few others that are big name people that haven't been signed yet. But I think now it will start heating up with a lot of the other trades going on. Middle relievers are finally getting paid. People are starting to see the worth in them, which is cool. But I think what will end up happening now is the Arrieta and the Darvish thing will be a big deal. A lot of people think that Darvish has a good chance at landing at the Cubs or the Twins, but he had dinner last night with John Daniels, so who knows what's going on.
Man, I feel like he would absolutely hate Minnesota.
I don't know. Minnesota has a big Asian community.
Do they?
Yeah, they actually do.
Compared to like LA, DFW, or Chicago?
They actually do have a lot of Asians. I don't know if that's... I don't...
I think we're still trying to get the Darvish likes Dallas is going to stay here the rest of his life.
Right.
And we're banking on that.
And I don't know how much you want to bank on that because, yeah, he's really good in the regular season, but when it comes to the postseason...
Dude, the point is... Rangers fans would like it. He would make you, a team that doesn't look like a garbage heap going into the year.
Right.
And, that's like, no, maybe you're not going to make the postseason, but at least you're going to, keep the fans engaged and, not look like a terrible team going into your stadium next year or the year after.
Right. Speaking of fan engagement, let's keep our fans engaged one last time for the
One last time. No. Oh. Go to the bathroom.
So Corey is got one last time to inform us of what is hot or not. So we'll do a hot or not for the winter meetings and signings. So who do you think really is hot right now with signings?
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow is not signing anyone.
Tim Tebow's hot. Khloe Kardashian is hot. Let's see. Calhoun is hot. Gallo's hot.
But what
Astros
teams?
are hot.
What teams won this year in the winter
Rangers
meetings?
are hot. Marlins are hot.
So you're doing like a reverse
Rays
knot?
are hot.
Doing so a reverse hot
Cubs
or
are
not?
hot. That team in Oklahoma City's hot.
The Thunder?
No, they're really not.
But no, really, who do you feel like?
Corey is protesting hot or not. I'm
Why
sorry.
is Corey protesting hot or not?
It's hot or not is not a real segment.
It is a real segment. And I don't know why you would want to end
Let's hot or
2017.
not. Let's hot or not the hot or not segment, okay?
Dude, people love the
Not
hot or
hot.
not segment.
Not hot.
So who would you say, though, won this off season so far for the winter meetings?
Giants are trying real hard. But they suck.
And, I mean, like, anything else? Any insight here on it?
No. You keep trying to force this whole hot or not
Hey,
thing down
I'm
my
not trying to
throat.
force a hot or not thing. It's a good segment, and people love it. And we had a really good podcast until about 45 minutes and 37 seconds into it, and Corey fucked it.
45 minutes is when the podcast is about to end, and then you try to pull this hot or not on
No,
me.
like I feel like it's a great way to end the podcast. And in fact, if you're listening to the podcast, please comment to keep
Tell
the
us
hot
how
or not
much you
going.
want to hear about hot or not.
I think it's a really good thing. So
Hey,
I mean,
Chase, who's not hot?
I would definitely say right now, not hot would probably be the Marlins. That's definitely on the not hot
we already
list.
we discussed that.
I would say the White Sox.
Oh,
White Sox haven't done shit.
I bet it's real cold up in Chicago.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think the Royals are going to end up in a hot situation. I think they're going to end up not hot. There's no way they're going to be able to sign all those guys back.
Nope.
Hosmer's going to be looking somewhere. They're thinking Hosmer may go to the Padres.
What are the Padres going to do? Psh, they've got to wait a couple years, just like the White Sox got to wait.
Right? No, it's quite interesting to see. But hot, definitely the Angels won this year. They've signed a lot of stuff. They're showing that they're going for
Angels acting like the Angels can win the offseason every year for all I care.
it. Sadly, the Yankees, I have to say, are hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yankees are hot.
Yeah, the Yankees are kind of like a frat boy who found a girl with daddy issues who has a little bit of a drinking problem. And that was the Florida Marlins. And they said, it's okay, I'll
Guess
love
that
you right
makes
now.
sense.
And they were like, oh, okay. Giancarlo Stanton, get in bed with the Yankees.
Interesting. So here's where it's hot right now in the U.S. We got L.A., Dallas, and Florida. So it's hot in.
Yeah, thanks for the weather report.
It's not hot in New York. It's about 30 degrees. It's not hot in Seattle. About 30 degrees. Not hot in Minnesota.
30 degrees in Seattle?
Yeah, cold front.
Seattle's in a rainforest, isn't it?
Shut up. I mean, there is a tiny slice of a rainforest nearby. I bet that's kind of the warm spot right there.
Probably
There's
about
like one little spot right there. No, they got mountains, you know.
I just don't like that one over there because they don't have monkeys.
20 degrees in Minneapolis.
Of course.
Not hot.
Not hot.
30 degrees in Chicago. Not hot.
You know who likes a cold though? Yu Darvish, and I hope he ends up in Minnesota.
You
That'll wait-
shouldn't
that'll
like
wait
it
next-
cold.
that'll-
Shut your face.
Here's my question for predictions. Do you think you're going to be that big on the Minnesota Twins next year? Or this coming
I don't
season?
know. It was out of nowhere for them to be good this year.
Right.
So it'll be a team to watch
It's
for the
kinda-
year.
That
but it's one
kind
of
of
those.
seems to be the trend though, because a couple
Yeah,
of
but do you
a few
stay sustained?
right a
sustained
few
success?
seasons ago, the Houston Astros peaked before anybody thought they would, and then they had a down season
Right.
the year after.
Yeah.
You know, and now they're finally back to where they should be. So this will probably be the last podcast for the 2017 year.
First year in the books.
First year in the books. I know we did that
Holiday
real.
time. We
I
ain't
know
gonna get
me and
together.
Corey were a little bit drunk one night when we did that one at the Hub, and we were carrying on about how we thank you guys for making the season good, but the year has been great too.
It's been a good year.
So, New Year's
Lots to look
resolutions for
forward for next year.
2018 on the Cold Beers and Curveballs.
Yeah, keep every episode under 50 minutes.
Keep every episode under 50 minutes. I can get behind that.
Only have Astros talk every 3 weeks.
No, because we have a special for the for it.
Nah, don't talk about your chickens before the eggs are hatched, dude.
You're right.
Wait till next year. Wait till it
next
actually
season.
happens, dog.
Right. I think though we may be able this season for the Astros and for Corey's diehard Rangers fandom. I feel like I found somebody that will equally match and possibly destroy Corey on episodes that we have this discussion.
Look, if you want to find a new partner, forget,
No, I
find
don't
you an
want. I
Astros
don't.
fan as a new partner.
No, that's not. I mean, I'm sure there's probably somebody who's gonna get fired from ESPN that's better than you that I could get on Cold Beers and
That you could
Curveballs.
get on.
I'm sure
yeah,
at
but
some
what
point.
if it
I'm
was
sure at some
Stephen
point.
A?
I'm sure at some point I can have Buster Olney or something.
What if it was Stephen A?
Yeah.
If
can't
you were
have
in the
me.
same room as Stephen A, this is
If I was on the same room as Stephen A, I'd be catching a case. I'd catch a case. There would be no doubt that I assaulted him.
there.
But I can't fucking stand that guy.
Nah, that would be a good day in baseball.
You know
A
who
good
I
day in
wish? You know
football.
who I wish that they would have? I wish they would fire Stephen A. Smith and Fox Sports, pick up Stephen A. Smith, and get rid of
Shannon
Shannon
Sharp.
Sharp and put him on there with Skip Bayless.
Put them back together.
Yeah, put Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith back together.
Yeah, but then we would lose out on Shannon Sharp just like leaning back and chewing on cigarettes.
I don't know though, because what if we could get Colin Cowherd together with all those three
Dude, then we could like nuke that.
guys? Yeah, that would be awesome.
We could
Like,
just drop a bomb on that building.
Right.
With Cowherd and Stephen A. and oh man,
Skip Bayless. We just have to make sure Katie Nolan's not in the office that day.
yeah, I suppose that'd be
I
smart.
like Katie.
Well, anyway, that's been an episode.
Right. So check out our friends at Charge the Mound.
Yeah, check them out.
They're doing the girls baseball deal, getting more girls in baseball. Check out our buddies at Mitchell Bat Company.
Boom.
Also check out our buddies at Pegasus City Brewery.
They closed tonight because I think there was a fun run down there. But
Yeah.
anyway,
You know what makes a fun run fun? Beer.
beer.
Why
right?
would you close down Pegasus City?
I don't know.
call
It's
us?
probably like they won't have any parking because they like block the road or something.
And be
Yeah.
definitely looking out because the Royce City Griffins are going to break ground coming up in 2018 for their new stadium.
The Griffins are coming to town.
The Griffins.
Boom, boom. Let's do it. Yeah, go check us out on the socials and the iTunes and everything else,
Right. And we
You've heard the
will
spiel for
we will
30
come
times.
back 2018
Better than ever.
better than ever. So luckily we set the bar low this season.
Thanks to you.
Oh, whatever. My 12 minutes of input has been the best 12 minutes. And if you want to hear a fun one, go back and listen to Sirens. And hopefully we'll be able to broaden this podcast up with bringing out a little buddy with the last name Stevens. Corey's dad.
No, he's never going to sign on. All right, we're signing off for 2017. Thanks and gig 'em. It's been a fun ride, and we'll see you next year.
Awesome.